Another study of MBSR from the University of Toronto showed that in 8 weeks of MBSR, it turns out that that medial, sort of what's called the default mode of the brain that is responsible for the narrative generation, when they put you in the scanner and say, just don't do anything. It turns out you can't not do anything. What you do, what we all do, is what's called mind wander. The mind just goes here, the mind goes there. And we have almost no awareness of that. And this study showed that 8 weeks of MBSR, that still lights up. I mean, the mind still wanders, but the whole other lateral area that includes the insula, another body map of the brain, that Bessel mentioned yesterday, and that really can ground you in felt experience, that's timeless. And that's not about I, me, and mine, and the story of what happened to me and how bad it was. That's just, I'm breathing. I'm feeling the air. I'm feeling the body. No story. Present moment. The only moment we're ever in. With the spaciousness. And these two networks are uncoupled, so that while you could be having the story of how miserable you are and how horrible it is and depressive rumination going on, another aspect of you saying, just seeing that and letting it come and go like rain, or like clouds in the sky, like weather patterns, even tremendously stormy ones. Once you have a different way of being in relationship to it, once your posterior cingulate cortex has thickened, which it did in these studies of Sarah Lazar, once your hippocampus is holding the whole thing different in terms of memory, then you have a way of re-inhabiting life. That's what rehabilitation means. Remember your French, high school French? Habiter means to live inside again. It lives inside. Habiter. J'habite Paris. I live in Paris, okay? Or cet appartement. So I live in, I dwell. It means to live, to dwell, to inhabit. So rehabilitation means to learn to live inside again. That's what wounded warriors need to learn, is to live inside again. And you could say, well, but the inside's completely destroyed. Or the inside's completely different. But it is and it isn't. The brain still has the whole thing. Hey, I think all of us are wounded in one way or another. So welcome to the club. The extremities, I'm not denying them at all, but those of us who are not that wounded need to be in wise relationship with the more wounded, or we'll just wind up continuing to confuse or wound each other rather than realize and recognize and transmute all of the energies of wounding to energies of living and of loving. And I've come to actually feel like, whether it's yoga, which is a big part of MBSR, because yoga is one of the insane gifts to the planet, as is Qigong and Tai Chi, and all of these they're different doors into the same room, in my view. And that room is the spaciousness of the human heart, and the intelligences, plural, and many of them, of the human being. Interoception, got mentioned last night, proprioception, all sorts of things that have to, in some sense, be relearned, re-inhabited by warriors wounded and not.